Welcome to my class of operating system. Today we will learn about Unix system security. Unix security refers to the means of securing a Unix or Unix-like operating system. A secure environment is achieved not only by the design concept of this operating system but also through vigilant users and administrative practices. This is the concept of security. Dennis Ritchie wrote about the security of Unix. It was not designed from start to be secure. It was designed with the necessary characteristics to make security serviceable. Unix is a multi-user, multitasking operating system. Multi-user means that the operating system allows many different people to use the same computer at the same time. Multitasking means that each user can run many different programs simultaneously. Unix system security can be divided into three main areas of concern. Two of these areas, account security and network security, are primarily concerned with the keeping unauthorized users from gaining access to the system. The third area, file system security, is concerned with preventing unauthorized access either by legitimate users or crackers to the data stored in the system. One of the natural functions of such operating system is to prevent different people or program using the same computer from interfering with each other. Without such protection, a wayward program, perhaps it is written by an introductory computer science course, a student has written it, could affect other programs or users, could accidentally delete files, or could even crash, halt the entire computer system. To keep some disasters from happening, some form of computer security has always had a place in the Unix design philosophy. Unix security provides more than mere memory protection. Unix has a sophisticated security system that controls the ways users access files, modify system databases, and use system resources. Unfortunately, these mechanisms don't help much when the system are misconfigured, are usually carelessly, or contain buggy software. Nearly all of the security holes that has been found in Unix over the years have resulted from these kind of problems rather than from shortcomings in the intrinsic design of the system. Thus, nearly all Unix vendors believe that they can provide a reasonably secure Unix operating system. However, there are influences that work against better security. The biggest problem with improving Unix security is arguably one of its expectation. Many users have grown to expect Unix to be configured in a particular way. Their experience with Unix in academic and research has always been that they have access to most of the directories on the system, and that they have access to most command. Users are accustomed to make their files word readable by default. Users are often accustomed to being able to build and install their software, often requiring system privileges to do so. The trend in free versions of Unix for personal computer system has amplified these expectations. All of these expectations are contrary to good security practice in the business place. To have stronger security, system administrator must often curtail access to files and commands that are not strictly needed for users to do their job. Thus, someone who needs email and a text processor for his work should not always expect to be able to run the network diagnostic program and C compiler. Likewise, to heighten security, user should not be able to install software that has not been examined and approved by a trained and authorized individual. The tradition of open access is strong and is one of the reasons that Unix has been attractive to so many people. Some users argue that to restrict these kind of accesses would make the system something other than Unix. Although these arguments may be valid, in instances where strong security is required, restrictive measures may be needed. At the same time, administrators can strengthen security by applying some general security principle in moderation. For instance, rather than removing all compilers and library from each machine, the tools can be protected so that only users in a certain user group can access them. Users with a need for such access and who can be trusted to take due care can be added to this group. Similar methods can be used with other classes of tools such as network monitoring software or Usenet news programs. Physical security. Often the subject of internal security is overlooked. However, often it is fairly easy for someone to get access to systems they are not supposed to have access by simply walking up to a valid user's desk. This can be the cleaning staff or a disgruntled ex-employee making a visit. This is the easiest type of security to implement and should definitely be included in any security plan. Administrators can strengthen security by applying some general security principles. Changing the fundamental view of data on the system can be beneficial, from readable by default to unreadable by default. For instance, user files and directories should be protected against read access instead of being world readable by default. Setting file access control values appropriately and using shadow passwords file are just two examples of how this simple change in system configuration can improve the overall security of Unix. The most critical aspect of enhancing Unix security is that the users themselves participate in the alteration of their expectation. The best way to meet this goal is not by decree but through education and motivation. Many users started using Unix in an environment less threatening than they face today. These days, cyber security attacks have increased, but earlier days they were very less. By educating users of the danger and how their cooperation can help to thwart those dangers, the security of the system is increased. By properly motivating the users to participate in good security practice, we make them part of security mechanism. Better education and motivation work well only when applied together. Console security. It is also one of the feature. Console security. Machine and console need to be secure. A person can simply turn off a computer if one has access to it. If they have access to the control, they can often interrupt the boot process to get access to the root prompt. If this doesn't work, they can keep guessing the root password in hopes of compromising the system. For these reasons, the computers and associated consoles should be kept in a secure room. A limited number of people should have access to this room. Of course, with a limited number of keys, some people actually have security guards that let people into the computer rooms for guaranteed secure access. If our data is sensitive, we should be careful to verify that there are no alternative methods for getting into the room. This includes hidden spare key in an unsecured place, gaps in the raised floors that can go past the locked access point, and space above the ceilings. Securing any computer system involves many steps, including knowing how the system may be attacked, knowing how to protect against these attacks, monitoring the system, teaching users to be safe, and getting them to work together, knowing what to do when we have detected that our system has been attacked. Some of the common attacks which are encountered are system crashes, new accounts, new file, modified file, poor performance, denial of service, destruction of data. It is important to know that how to protect against all these attacks. Only provide as much as necessary. That means put access control on IP services with TCP wrapper, remove IP services which is actually don't need it, such as fingered, sendmail and TFTP. At the very least, log access with something like TCP wrapper, which adds to effectiveness by logging to another host. Read the log files or use some tools like Swash. Detect modified program with tripwire. Also, we have to select good password and change them regularly. We should take care with .rh hosts file, and also don't share accounts and password to one person and to several persons. It should remain unique to one person and one account. Also understand how to safely use the X Windows system. Data securities. Companies that value their data need a detailed backup recovery scheme. This includes on-site backups for least amount of downtime. A copy of this data off-site in case of computer room disasters, as well as contingency plans in place. Unfortunately, an easy way to get access to a company's data is to gain access to backup tapes and sensitive printouts. Hence, all sensitive information should be stored in locked cabinet. Backup tapes sent offsite should be locked container. Old sensitive printouts and tapes should be destroyed. To protect against computer damage from power outrages, be certain to have the UPS attached to the computer. This provides consistent power, protect against outages, as well as protect the computer from power spikes. Ideally, there should be a backup generator. Which for production of systems. For non-productive systems or for non-production system, there should be an automatic way to shut down the computer if the power has switched off to the UPS for more than half the time the UPS is rated to supply. Unless each of these basics is in place, all of the technical solutions, the special hardware, the software safeguards, and the like are utterly meaningless. In discussing the status of security on various versions of Unix operating systems, we try to place our observation in a wider concept than just the Unix system or one particular version of Unix system. Unix system security is neither better nor worse than that of other systems. Any system that provides the same facilities as the Unix system will necessarily have similar hazards. From its inception, the Unix system was designed to be user-friendly, and most decisions that pitted security against ease of use were heavily weighed in favor of ease of use. The result has been that of Unix system has become a fertile testbed for the development of reasonable security procedures that interfere to the minimum possible extent with ease of use. The major weaknesses of any information system, such as the Unix system, reside in the habit and attitude of the user community. It is easy to run a secure computer system. We merely have to disconnect all dial-up connections and permit only direct wired terminals, put the machine and the terminal in a shielded room and post a guard at the door. There are in fact many examples of Unix system that are run under exactly these conditions, principally systems that contain classified or sensitive defense information. There are a number of options implemented either in hardware or software that provides a measure of security that is almost this good. Examples are systems that only respond to a dial-up call by calling back on a pre-assigned number. Many commercially available operating systems make it essentially impossible to create or install any user software or application software without administrative help. Some others systems make it virtually impossible to read file belonging to another user. Even when the users want to cooperate in their work, all these measures work by restricting them to the system and by reducing the power that the system gives its user. The Unix system was designed to increase, not decrease, the power and flexibility available to its user. It was designed to be easily accessible and to facilitate communication within its user community. Most Unix systems, not surprisingly, are of dial-up variety. They provide their users with great programming ability to create, install, and use their own programs. All but a few of their files are at least readable by anybody, and most such systems have access to thousands of other systems via remote mail and file transfer facility. That is, they use the Unix system as its creators intended it to be used. Unix network security. Once you put a computer on a network, you allow many more potential access to the machine. Without networks, often a machine is not useful. The key to network security is to allow only those functions that the user actually need. Make those services as second as possible. By disabling non-user function, you have much less monitoring and security. Such open system cannot ever be made secure in any strong sense. That is, they are unfit for applications involving classified government information, corporate accounting, records relating to individual privacy, and like. Security, though, is not an absolute matter. There are tolerable levels of insecurity, and there are balances to be struck not only between security and accessibility, but also between the cost of security measure and the risk or exposure associated with the information being protected. By homely analogy, most family silverware is stored in a cabinet in a house with a lockable door. It is not stored in a box on the front lawn for obvious reasons, but neither is it stored in a bank vault where it would be much safer than at home, but where it could not easily be used and understood. The insecurity of keeping it at home is both tolerable and appropriate. Neither of the authors can say that we have to keep silver jewelries at home. The same balances are appropriated when it comes to information that is being protected. Most Unix systems are far less secure than they can and should be. This unwarranted insecurity is largely caused by complacency and by the use of concealment as a security measure. The administrators don't want word of security problems to be circulated. Telnet security convenience your user to use SSH secure cell. SSH provide encrypted traffic to prevent snooping. If you must use Telnet, list close down which IPs you use Telnet from and turn off root logging. FTP security. As with other services, if we don't need this functionality, turn it off. We can turn off incoming FTP or simply certain users. You need to full FTP functionality. Be certain to enable logging and monitor syslog. If possible, use secure FTP which comes with SSH. Standard FTP is known to be a security hazard as it sends password in clear text. The most important and usually the only barrier to the unauthorized use of Unix system is the password that a user must type in order to gain access to the system. Much attention has been paid to making the Unix password scheme as secure as possible against would-be intruders. The result is a password file into the system is asked for a password. The password is then encrypted with a one-way transformation and compared to the encrypted password previously stored in the file. Access is permitted only if the two match. An advantage of this system of password control is that there is no record anywhere of the user's password. No method appears to be known to extract a user's password from the encrypted version that is stored. The one-way encryption has proven to be good enough to thwart a brute force attack. In practice, it is easy to write programs that are extremely successful at extracting passwords from password file and that are also very economical to run. They operate, however, by an indirect methods that amounts to guessing what a user's password might be and then trying over and over until the correct one is found. Since you only want valid users using FTP, make sure you have etc. FT pushes include all system accounts. If there are other users who don't need FTP, also place them in this file. Only allow the users that actually need them. Give them the least amount of access possible. Don't allow writable directories unless absolutely necessary. If writable directories are needed, sometimes write-only directories can be utilized. Modem security. Having modem hooked up to one central point makes security easier. All modems should have additional dial-up password for additional security. To this setup, once we are finished, Verify the passwords are not guessable using crack. As usual, use one password per user. Be certain to disable the account when the user no longer needs access. All dial-up modem should log users out upon disconnection. Unix account security. If your accounts are not secure, then your other steps won't help much. So, as we have already discussed, password security is one of the main concern. We want to make sure all accounts have a non-guessable password. To ensure that the passwords are non-guessable, use crack on a regular basis. In addition, be certain that passwords are changed from time to time. Ideally, use one-time passwords such as S-key. Accounts should be disabled when there are bad logins in a row. Be certain that passwords are not written down. Often people will use their license plate numbers or children's name, use them as password or from their favorite hobby. Have your password dictionary include checking these passwords. Having no .NET RC files strengthens security. There is other clues can also be held from the password file. There is a comment field that is used in most systems to provide information about a password. Finally, if an intruder knows something about the people using a machine, a whole new set of candidates is available. The password is the most vital part of Unix account security. If a cracker can discover a user's password, he can then log into the system and operate with all capabilities of passwords. Unix password should be longer, that is more than 6 characters at least. However, if the user insists that a shorter password is to be used, the program will allow it. No checks for obviously insecure passwords are performed. Selecting passwords. We should keep precaution while selecting password. Be certain that passwords are not written down. Often people will use their license plate numbers or children's name. Which is commonly traceable by intruders. The other is password policy. Other important point is password policy. Although asking users to select secure password will help improve security, by itself it is not enough. It is also important to form a set password policy that all users must obey in order to keep the password secure. First and foremost, it is important to impress on users that need to keep their password in their minds only. Password should never be written down on desk blotters, calendar or like anything. Further, storing password in file or on the computer must be prohibited. A second important policy is that user must never give out their password to others. Many times a user feels that it is easier to give password in order to copy a file rather than to set up the permissions of the file so that it can be copied. Unfortunately, by giving out the password to another person, the user is placing his trust and so on. Finally, it is important to establish a policy that users must change their password from time to time, say twice a year. This is difficult to enforce on Unix since in most implementation a password expiration scheme is not available. However, there are ways to implement this policy either by using third party software or by sending set of policies should be printed and distributed to all current users of the account. Thank you for watching.